try to roll the dice and stick around if you would like, but ultimately, when we know, we know.
But there's some.
I think for dudes too, sometimes when you talk about being ready, if a dude isn't in a place where he feels maybe he's got a job that he doesn't feel like is really a career for him, and so he isn't at a point where he feels like he has fulfilled fulfilled that image of being a man that he has, for himself, like having that career that he's fully in and feels like he's at a point where he can really provide, and even to what you said, Creek, too, throw that in too, to be where you feel like you got all that out of your system and you're in a place now where you're ready. You feel like everything's in line for you, and the next thing you need to be, a man, or that thing is to be married and be a husband and be a dad and stuff like that too.
That's true though, because men are just men are just as insecure as women. So if you're a man and it's a woman that's successful and they're established in their career, that could be intimidating to a weak man.
Right. So y'all making the points that I was about to make. So you got to look at how many things a man gonna have to pay for as soon as he's ready to say he want to get engaged. So you got to pay for the engagement ring. You got to pay for the wedding band. Then you got to pay for the wedding. Then you got to make sure you have all the finances together to get the crib, start having kids. And it just takes a whole lot of responsibilities to be a man and a leader of a family. So if that man is not in that place, he's not going to commit. He's going to keep on living the bachelor life because that's a whole lot easier to deal with.
Yeah, you're right about that, man. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Yeah, and it used to always baffle me how, like, I'm going to just use 2005 as just like a reference year. Like, let's say 2004, 2002, just seeing like young cats getting into relationships and neither him nor the woman had any kind of level ground. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure y'all know like some couples that just got married early. And you're like, dang, man. And I just couldn't see myself doing that. Like, one thing I did have to fall back on now is you never going to be 100% ready. Now, that's one thing I had to figure out. But you are going to be, in a position just like Roper read off, at least in control enough to, checklist a couple things off, some main things that you can handle. But you're never going to be just 100% ready for the kid or 100% ready for the relationship. So you got to find that, that equal balance, man. But yeah, just like going back to the tweet, yeah, women always like, go back and be like, so is it me? Like, what am I doing wrong? There's nothing you checklist. They just got to recognize the time frame, and that's it. You just got to bite that bullet. Yep, nothing you can check.
Man, I know I was trying to hold out as long as possible. If my wife didn't get pregnant when she got pregnant, man, I might still be a best. Got pregnant, oh man, I got to shut it down now, man. Take care of the seed, man. Very good, still, man. I love it.
Now, aren't you glad?
Yep.
My wife is putting the pressure on me, man. I was just trying to weigh the income tax, though.
That's when, yeah. I mean, I was at the point where I just wasn't looking anymore. Then I just found her, it just happened. So that was good. So I didn't receive any pressure or anything. I was just ready. Yep. But it wasn't even rushed if it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the right situation just came along. Right person, everything.
Yep.
Line right up. So good stuff. So
look at God.
Yep. So what we got? So we want to go from marriage and relationship talk to murderers at McDonald's.
Murders at McDonald's. First of all, McDonald's been killing black people since McDonald's first started. Yeah, for decades.
Them dang fries. Them dang fries. Still got another brother. Man.
Them hot McDonald's fries be putting people under, man.
So y'all, I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with the quote unquote Facebook killer.
The Q. You talking about the Q?
Yeah. I mean, that's what. I mean, yeah. There's no lie in the thing. Steve Stevens.
Double S.
You got two first names, man. Yeah, man. You know he a killer.
That was part of the problem.
SS. SS Express on him.
He was destined.
So apparently, he went off. Now he did have a whole just a plethora of excuses on why he snapped.
Yeah, like woe is me. Basically, woe is me. He's a victim. He works for children's mental health.
Oh, that's what his occupation was?
And he always heard other people's problems. Nobody listened to his. He blamed his mom. He blamed his girl. and
gambling. I heard that.
Gambling. Him being in Mega, I think he said that was part of it. I mean, it was just
he blamed his gums, everything.
It was just a lot of stuff that he was blaming, man. So the old dude that he killed. First of all, I was wondering because I was watching the family. The family, I mean, they handled it with grace because they were forgiving, and they had already forgave the guy for killing their dad. So it was one set of siblings that were older.
Yeah.
Then at night they had another set that looked like they were younger than I was, and I'm like, and they were saying dads. I was like, is that their granddad
or dad? How is that
or
possible?
Is that how is that possible? You know, because they're in their 20s, or maybe even younger than that. Who knows? But they were all saying dad, and they said he had 10 kids, and you know he was this great man. He did all these things. And he taught them how to do right from wrong. So
and he was a Rolling Stone.
And he was a Rolling Stone. That's what with 10 kids, you know it. I mean,
right.
Well, and he was how old was it? He was 74. So you could by the time I could see 10 kids for his age because they used to put him out like that. But Tanae Parker, which she is, she's been on our podcast before. She want to be known as the mouth of the South.
I guess we could do it. Yeah, just call. Yeah, that's what she wanted.
I think that's the name of her thing, right?
Yeah,
the mouth of the South. So the mouth of the South, Tanae Parker. She wrote this, and she writes a lot of
aggressive,
controversial type posts,
incendiary posts,
like explosive type. You know, like stuff that you have to comment or you read it. And you're like, damn, I can't believe she said that. So this one, she says this. She posted a picture of the victim who was murdered on Facebook Live for everybody to see. And she put, this isn't my grandfather. This isn't your grandfather. This wasn't some innocent victim. This man was an old, sick-ass pervert. This was a 74-year-old man in an 18-year-old relationship with a 34-year-old woman. A relationship that began when he was 56 and she was 16. You see a frail old man now, but envision him as a 56-year-old preying on a child. F him too. If that video has disturbed you, I hope you find peace in knowing that it was a karmic retribution. I know I do. The irony is that Steve Stevens didn't actually kill anyone who didn't deserve it. And when I read that, I was like, wow.
Yeah, same. I was shocked.
So this post has 87 shares and almost 300 comments. So if you don't follow Tanae on Facebook, Tanae Parker, somebody ignorant that on one of her commenters put that instead of the apostrophe they put a comma. So make sure if you're searching for Tanae you don't put a comma, you put an apostrophe. T'_NAE Parker, because she's always posting something crazy. But she had a ton of comments, and it even got to the point where it looked like an older gentleman said, "Now you playing God," and she was like, "F you too." So she was just going off, and then another girl was like, "Don't be mad at him because it's not illegal in Ohio."
16 is the age of consent
for a heterosexual relationship. 16 is the age of consent. So then she was like, "F you," and the girl's like, "I'm gonna kill you and your whole family," and then it just went downhill from there. So
and the whole family, yeah.
Oh wow!
And then Tanae posted her address. Yeah.
How about that?
Catch me outside then. So, okay. So the question is, do you feel differently about the old man?
Nah, I don't. Like that he didn't deserve to die because he had made an inappropriate relationship.
Yeah. Right. Either way, he definitely didn't deserve to die.
Yes, it wasn't punishable by execution.
And whatever social stigma or backlash in the community probably already happened. You know what I'm saying? Because these weren't like when the Wizard of Oz with the house falls on the Wicked Witch and then everybody comes out and celebrates. These jokers, like in his immediate family and people surrounding him, were not just happy that he was dead because he'd been terrorizing folks for the last 18 years. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, yeah, that statement was judgmental. Like I think she's always in error because like even her good points or observations that she makes, get diluted by the aggressive nature of how she presents it. So,
and to one thing you said, Ham, and it's the same thought that I had was that nobody knows I mean, that family could have already, all the families could have been good with it, or accepted it. So, I mean, we don't know the backstory to how everything went down to make that type of statement about it.
So, I don't think it's ever acceptable for a 56-year-old man to have any type of relationship with a 16-year-old.
Nope.
Like, ever. Now, I do know back in the day that was probably, whatever. It wasn't as taboo. But it's just not that's a child.
Mm-hmm. It definitely is.
Some of these 16-year-olds don't look like kids, but they're a child. Like, mentally, I mean, that's just what they are. So he was definitely, I would go ahead and say he had some sort of sickness.
Yeah.
Like, he was a pervert for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, he didn't deserve what he got. He didn't deserve to get executed, like you said, Creek, on Facebook Live.
Right.
Or just period.
Yeah.
Not even if it wasn't on Facebook Live. If we never would have known about it. Now,
right.
And I'm not going to justify it anyway. Now, say back 34 years ago, if he was 56 and the 16-year-old's dad shot him, I probably could understand where the dad was coming from.
Exactly, because it's Double S wasn't no vigilante. This wasn't any kind of,
Yeah.
So okay, so look. So what happens is this old guy, he represents two things. He represents a pedophile, possibly, and a victim.
Yeah.
So if the dad had shot, if the dad of the 16-year-old shot him, he would have been a pedophile, a victim of vigilantism, and we would have been okay.
Yeah.
Steve Stevenson or whatever saw this guy, and he was a victim in this particular scenario. Like, so I mean, that you almost have to look at that as like a twofold type of deal. So I mean, it is a difficult situation finding out the dude's background, but his background didn't bring upon the punishment,
right?
Which is my
thing. Because I mean, I don't know. I kind of just wish they would let that man be, because he died a horrible way, and whatever people thought of him, it was all positive. Because even the media wasn't victimizing or demonizing him.
Yeah,
because he was a victim. But then she put that, and I guess first of all, is the Daily Coast UK, is that a credible source?
I don't know. But,
I know, that's why I was like, we need to vet that thing.
But simple math is though.
But I saw his kids,
and we did the math on the thread before she even came up with that story too.
Yeah, I seen his young kids. I mean, so either way, that's one of the posts I was like, damn, I can't believe she posted that. And now I know, Tanae, why you stay in Facebook jail.
Yes.
So the Cleveland killer though,
It's so many unknowns, man. Has anyone said or seen or heard from the family? Like, has anyone gotten a microphone in front of the family member? Anyone tracked them down? Like, the last thing I heard, it was like his bros, Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated members.
1911,
purple and gold,
yeah, Howard University.
Yeah, and trying to explain that they gave that PSA. We don't condone anything that he did. He was a good guy from what we knew, but we just feel sorry for the family. And he said all the right things, but other than them, what about his family? Did he have any family? Well, and I'm kind of hitting around to that because there's that conspiracy theory out there that it was just a lot of unknowns. Like, they said something about there was a statement made. Now, I don't know if this is fake news or not sure, but it was a statement made that he somebody from the family said they had taken down some of his pictures from off his accounts, closed down his social media accounts. They're like, how'd you get the password? Like, there's nothing else being said. Like, it's just kind of weird. It's like a lot of unanswered questions. So
here's my question.
I don't know.
Steven Stevens, with the two first names.
Right.
He said that he wanted to kill Greeks. So my question to you guys, which fraternity do you think, or sorority do you think he would have targeted first?
He said he wanted to kill Greeks?
Yeah, he said he was going to shoot him in the head, part. I think. He said he was going to shoot Greeks in the head.
I totally missed
that.
So
him being the Q, which one do you think he would have gone for
Being
first?
though he shot himself, I think he probably would have went after Q's first.
You think so? I don't think he'd went after his own. Because he said that he let them down, and then he said that he let whatever his district down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he would have went after the dang Sigmas or the Alphas.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, probably the Sigmas first.
Nah, the IOTAs. He went after the IOTAs, man.
Nah, because that's too much work. I mean, where you gonna find one?